to clank is not the way you do it. If you're the so-called greatest player in the game, you take over, go to the hole, get fouled, go to the free throw line yourself. Don't leave it up to George Hill to go to the free throw line. Do it yourself.
Oh yeah.
And that's where a lot of this stuff gets to me. I'm like, dude, okay, you scored 51, but where were you at the end of the game when they needed you to go to the hole? You passed it to somebody else.
Right.
Take it upon yourself, dude. Do it.
So and then,
just do it.
Yeah. Game 2, the Warriors end up blowing them out 122-103.
We saw that.
Game 3 was really close. Warriors ended up winning 110-102, but it was when they was down by 3 and Kevin Durant had the ball at the top of the key and sniped the 3 from long range to make it 106.
Durant. The bad part is Cleveland had absolutely no one to guard Kevin Durant.
No.
They knew it the year before. They had no one to guard him. There's no one big enough to guard him. Unless you were going to put LeBron all up in his mug, that was the only way. But every time they switched, you put J.R. Smith or somebody short on him. It wasn't happening. No. It wasn't happening. Kevin Durant was just going to stand there and be like, oh, look, a midget, and shoot right over the top of him.
Pretty much.
It was dominant. Kevin Durant, when he gets on, especially that mid-range game, you might as well just put it away.
Yeah.
You ain't going to stop him.
He carried him in Game 3 because Steph had a cold game that game. Steph's been good for the rest of the game.
What was it? Steph in Game 2 was the one where he had the record for three-pointers, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then he had 6 points in Game 3. He was off that night. He just didn't look like himself that night. Game 4, they bounced back. He had a great game, and you already know that it was just already over, man. You watch the game, and the lack of you just know when the team just got defeated, pretty much, and it was 85 and everything like that. So they won a title. They won a sweep. Except for Game 1, it was pretty much a boring NBA Finals. So it was what you thought it was going to be after Game 1. Exactly. The Eastern Conference and Western Conference Final was better than the NBA Finals, and that was probably the best basketball we had all year between those 4 teams that was in the last round. So, did they get the NBA MVP right? Because I know Steph had a good 4 game, but you can just tell that they were just kind of force feeding him to get the ball. And
Kevin, they wanted to try to get him the MVP, but just based on Game 3 alone, and how Kevin Durant can take over a game at any point in time, they got it right.
Did you
just give it to Kevin? If Kevin wants to give him one of the trophies, it'd be like, here, you can take one. You'll be fine.
Did you see the look on his face? Steph Curry's face when he got it.
I know he looked all sad. To somebody that just won his 3rd championship, he looked really, really sad.
Listen, and Kevin, you can agree with this because you got 3 rings of your own as a Heat fan. Do you think a player really care about the NBA MVP award? Because I know they're making a big deal you got to have an MVP Finals to have an MVP award to validate yourself. No, you got 3 rings.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You have to have a good career and win a championship to validate yourself. And sometimes you don't even have to have the championship to validate yourself. Depending on what area you were born in or played in, you validated yourself by having a good career. Exactly. It wasn't your fault that you run into some of the all-time greats.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's not your fault that you ran into people that were just more dominant than you.
Yeah, you got a ring.
And there's another thing that ticks me off. People always talk about that he's playing all of these Hall of Famers and stuff like that, and Mike played chopped liver. Okay, y'all have fun with that comparison too. That's for later.
Then they always talk about, he got beat in the first round before Scotty got there. I'm like. Okay, who did he play? Let's look at this compared to what he has. And then when you actually see that he got Scotty, how did Scotty do without him when he went to go play baseball?
Then they went to the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yeah,
where they lost to the Knicks.
Yeah. So
Scotty was quick to put that shoe up and tell him to come back and play.
So listen, Steph is going to go down as one of the best shooters in the game. Probably going to be up there as far as top 10, top 20 players. I'm just throwing ballpark in there right now.
He's one of the best shooters anybody we've seen, like, in this era.
Yeah.
In this era of basketball, he is this era of basketball's best shooter.
Yep.
We can say that without a shadow of a doubt. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame because of his last 4 or 5 years alone.
Right. And I don't.
It's going to be a short span because I don't see him keeping it up. But it's going to be a short span of the 4 and 5 years he had some of the best shooting years that we've ever seen. And he's going to go to the Hall of Fame because he won 3 rings and he's one of the best shooters. He's going to go in on those merits alone.
Yeah, so listen, and that's why I say I don't. I don't know. He's one, like you said, he's a basketball player. I'm just a fan. So I'm a fan of watching that guy shoot a basketball. Right, and
as far as him being one of the great players in the game right now, no, he's a great shooter.
And in my opinion,
he does some things that make you think he's a great player, but he's a great shooter.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think he shouldn't be worried about the NBA MVP.
No, don't worry about that stuff, bruh.
Yeah, and it's probably just nature reaction, but there's thing when you get this good, there's gonna be some sort of tension. You're just good, man. Like this guy Kevin Durant, who is rightfully so one of the top 2 players in the NBA right now, is still allowed to shine. And I don't know. I wouldn't take it to heart if I was Steph Curry. So
nah, just go with the flow, dude. Enjoy it.
Question about this Golden State team because Draymond Green already talking about he wants to, he wants to be qualified for the Supermax, that he wants to get paid that. This team don't have a lot of the money to just dish out all these players here. So, I mean, are we beginning to see the breakdown of this team soon, or because Draymond already very vocal about it, he wants to get paid.
Draymond ain't worth a Supermax contract. No. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not worth a Supermax contract. You're a key part of this team, but could they win without you right now? Yeah. If you were taken completely out of the equation and you went somewhere else, could this team win without you? Yeah. They could go right back to the finals without you and keeping Clay. Mm-hmm. You're not worth a Supermax contract. The bad part is you're going to have to divvy the amount of money out to all these guys to keep them all happy. So you're going to have to find a happy medium. Can they? We don't know yet because we don't know where everybody stands.
Right.
Is everybody going to want to take a pay cut? Is everybody going to want to play together? And is everybody going to want to stay as a team? Is somebody going to end up wanting to go be the number 1 guy somewhere? And so we just don't know what's going to happen with that team. But as far as salary cap stuff wise goes, I'm glad I ain't got to worry about it. And I'm glad I ain't got to figure out the shit on how to pay people.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you mentioned, someone being number 1. Even Clay came out and said, hey, I'd like to be a number 1 option on my team, on my own team someday. But then he came out and said, well, I'd like to take I take a discount to stay with the Warriors. I like winning. And so he's
Clay's the one guy that values – Clay seems like the guy that values winning championships and doing that stuff and being on a team where he can stay quiet, stay to himself, keep winning, keep doing what he does. He seems like a person that would be perfectly fine with taking less money to be able to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what they got to hope is that he will so they can keep everybody in place. But as far as Draymond Green wanting a max contract, bitch, you ain't earned it.
Right. Kevin Durant.
You ain't earned a max contract.
The GM already came out and said Kevin Durant, whatever contract he wants, he will get. So
that guy earned a max contract.
Yes.
That guy has earned whatever he wants.
Yep.
The coach has earned his pay, whatever he wants.
Yep.
You haven't earned anything.
Draymond kind of struggled in a few games, too. You didn't hear much.
That's what I said. He struggled the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
You haven't earned it. You're the heart and soul of the team, as far as people say, but you haven't earned a max deal.
Yeah.
Now it's thundering. I said max deal, and God apparently was mad at me and sent down a lightning bolt.
So, yeah, man, it's be interesting where this team will be in a few years, and you already know this. It's just success doesn't last forever. Just dynasties doesn't last forever. So it's just. But
right now, they are a dynasty.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They are They are a dynasty. They went how many in a row did they gone to? Four?
4 in a row, and they won 3, and they're working that shit.
4 in a row, they won 3, and they shouldn't even lost the other one that they lost. And, they're a dynasty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're a dynasty. And they'll go for a couple more years, too, unless something freaking crazy this offseason happens.
Which will break down here soon.
And someone shoots up to challenge them. But I don't even think in the scenario that everybody's thinking that those guys would even challenge them.
Yeah, Houston really came close. It's the only one.
Houston came close because they had, I don't know what was coming over Houston that time, but they actually played a little bit of defense.
Well,
if you get Houston to play some defense, then you can beat them. But it was just crazy.
Well, they did miss Iggy. I will get a Warrior stat. They miss Iggy.
Oh, God, yeah. They miss Iggy. And you can see the difference that he makes in just guarding one dude. Yeah. Like with him just being on the floor and guarding one person, it makes a complete difference on how the game's played.
Very true. Very true. So I'm just let's go on to the other side and talk about LeBron. I know he's a independent free agent if he declined his player option. And
he's gone.
And so he came out, and Brian Windhorst reported, your guy, Brian Windhorst.
Fuck that fat bastard.
He came out and reported that LeBron was actually playing with a fresher hand because after game 1, he was so upset that he punched a whiteboard.
Okay, well then, if you're the best player in your game and you're supposed to be a leader on your team, why are you punching J.R. Smith? Oh, he punched a whiteboard. Yeah, not J.R. But no, why would you do that if you've got 3 more games at least? Why would you go and do something that's stupid?
I don't get it. I don't get it either. But the thing I question about that, where was his freshman hand when he threw the ball at the backboard and did an alley-oop to himself?
Ego, man. It's all, well, he probably got them shots in it to where he couldn't feel anything anyway.
And then you wear a cast at your last press conference? Come on, man. Like,
yeah, I think there's more to it than said. We all know Brian Windhorst is like his personal make an excuse for LeBron guy and say whatever. He's like his personal, hey, this is what happened. Go and tell him this. So he's like his personal messenger.
Yeah.
So to speak. That ESPN hired because they're like, oh, he's really tight with LeBron. Well, he eats all of LeBron's leftovers. That's why he's really tight with LeBron. But I'm like, I don't take nothing serious. Okay, he hurt his hand. It just shows that he was stupid and was being selfish and hurt his hand.
Yeah, so.
Dummy.
Yeah, so that's why I said. And with that, I hear the excuse there after the game. I lost some respect for LeBron in that aspect too, man. I was like, are you serious? Report this out there. It happens, man. Like, why now? The timing of it was what's got me, but that's one thing about LeBron. He never,
because he failed.
Timing. Yeah.
Because he failed. They used it as an out. If he would have done well and they would have not won it, he would have been like, he won the championship after he broke his hand after game 1.
And LeBron fans would have went crazy.
So it's either an excuse or a praise device. It's either one or the other.
Boy, his marketing team is something else. I mean, they were really good at marketing this guy.
It's an ego boost is what it is. Mm-hmm. If you win, it's an ego boost. I did this with a broken hand. If you lose, it's an excuse. Well, I was playing with a broken hand. Well, then why did you break your hand? Well, because I'm an idiot and broke my hand after game 1.
Foolish. All right, well, let's talk about one superstar here that's disgruntled. So Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio, and of course the rumors flying around that he want to go back because he's from California, and that he wants the Lakers as his first choice. First of all, I want to get your thoughts on the Spurs organization, how they handling this, man, and you really don't hear much about dirt and all this stuff and grime and all this stuff coming out of the Spurs organization, but this whole year they've been dealing with this. So what's your thoughts on this now with Kawhi requesting his trade and how the Spurs.
My thing is it the Spurs organization that handled it poorly,